minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.
You don't even look at this little thing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to... Oh, we have a bit of a echo there.
It's gone now. It's gone.
Welcome to our podcast, From Vision to Success. I am Maria Bunch.
And I am Miguel Martinez. How are you, beautiful people?
If this is your first time catching us, we are a podcast that... What do we do? Tell us.
Okay, so you want me to say it this time around?
Yeah, say it.
So we are Vision to Success. Every good story starts with a vision, somewhere where you want to start, where you want to be, and a success, the end results, where you want to end up. And so what this podcast entails is everything in the between, right? So we tell you how to get that vision. We tell you how to, whatever, go for it, all that skill sets, all those things, and then how to get to success is where you want to be.
100%.
Yeah. So what were you saying about? We were talking about something right before the in the pre-show.
Yeah, so Miguel here, I always see him on random things, and he's always like, if it's a supplement, he has it, right? So I see him like snorting stuff. No, I'm just joking. He's not snorting. He's just fat. But I'll see him with like sprays under his tongue, and then I'll see him like with little vial things, like shaking things. Oh, and there it goes. So today I look at this, and legit, this guy was just eating huge amounts of honey. So I'm like, is this next step? Is this like maple syrup that you had
It's not
here?
just honey. I had a banana with peanut butter.
Yeah, like an insane amount of peanut butter and honey.
It's my favorite go-to snack. You know what? Some people have Doritos.
You also have Doritos.
I'm cutting down.
Okay. I was like, some people have Doritos. You mean you have Doritos? Because you do love that.
After you humiliated me in front of our thousands and thousands of audience.
Millions by now.
Millions of people.
Why, was it the Cheeto dust that you had and then like the lips and like somehow it ended on your head?
So I'm not going to lie. I went back and I took a look at that video and there was Cheeto dust. And so all I kept thinking was like, you have a problem. And so I got to cut this out. But you know what? In the beginning, I mean, when I was younger, again, I could eat like Costco full of these things, right? And then, we got a bot.
Celebrating those bots. Keep us in that algorithm. Thank you, televisual pool something.
Yeah.
Something pulley. I don't know.
It's from, what is it? Oh, it's Twitch.
Oh, there you go.
It's a bot from Twitch. All right, cool.
Thank you. Anyway,
no, but when I was younger, I could download like friggin' an insane amount of Dorito bags. Now that I'm older, I'm in my late 30s.
Right. Now that you're in your late 30s, go on.
Then I'm in my early 30s, right? I can't.
Late 20s, come on.
Okay, I'm 28. Now that I'm in my like 28s, it's I can't. I have this stomach ache, and all I keep thinking is like there's mass that it's not working its way through my intestines.
Oh God, it's all Dorito mass.
It is, and so that's the image that I have. I was like, okay, I gotta cut this down. So now my go-to snack, which is I absolutely love, it's fire. It's a banana, which is potassium. You put peanut butter on it, protein, and then sugar. Honey. And sometimes a little bit of brown sugar.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not complaining.
So anyway, after I saw that, I asked him what that was. And he's like, oh, this is chlorophyll. Have you heard of it? And so he's now telling me he saw an ad and he bought it. He was there with his credit card ready. So we're on to the next supplement.
I am that guy that sits by the television with the as seen on TV with my credit card in hand, knows the credit card number by heart, with the 3 digits at the back, and ordering whatever it is they're telling me to order.
Oh my gosh, did you see those testimonials? He's like, wow, did you see the testimonials of the people? And I'm like, have you ever noticed on the bottom, sometimes it says like paid actors, results not typical.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm sure it's good.
That's me. My favorite store at the mall is the As Seen on TV mall.
Oh, yeah?
Have you gone to it?
Yeah, I've gone to it.
That is a beautiful store.
You know what I don't like? I just find some stuff overpriced where I'm like, I don't know.
It's all those testimonials. Like they've done research of these products, and so they have to be able to do that. Like right there.
So there you go. See, so this is fire of how the middle part from vision to success. Clearly, you gained so much knowledge from our last combo for the last 3 minutes.
Clearly.
Anyway, well, we're so excited to have you here.
Yes, welcome to the show. I am so excited about today's show.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to go ahead and tell our audience here, our millions of audience,
Our millions and millions of people. Well, yeah, today it's a topic that I hold really true and near to me.
Okay.
So a lot of people, hang on, my cap. So a lot of people always, Miguel, you're always so happy. Miguel, you were that. And, I get paid all these, and again, it's not to brag, right? But I do, I get recognized for a positive, for a positive, that was the peanut butter and honey. Sorry.
Lovely.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm like,
You got me.
we'll share a story about.
Oh, I want to know the story. What is it?
No. I was just saying about how nobody worries that we like hang out so much together. Anyway, we'll share that story after. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so not to boast. And so I have people telling you, oh, you're always so happy and whatever. I think you're a product of your environment.
Okay.
I truly, truly believe you are a product of. There's this guy that was online, and I don't know what his name is, and I've been trying to look him up, but I don't know what I don't know what his business is. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know anything about him. But he does. He says, "Show me your friends," and it's a famous quote. "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future."
Yeah.
Right. And so you have, and Les Brown says it all the time. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, it's true.
So you become a product of your environment. It says that your chances are that you are the average of your friends.
5 people, right?
Okay.
The 5 people that are closest to you.
Yeah. And so with me, yes, I'm happy, but it's not because like I was born with this thing, right? Like I'm always smiling and I'm always having a good time, whatever. It's because I'm very, very careful in who I bring into my circle. Very, very, and that's always been from a young age. Like my best friend growing up, Lewis. You know Lewis, right? The guy that you guys dumped. He was sorry.
Anyway, sorry, I almost choked that out.
I know you did.
Anyway. I'm like, oh gosh. I didn't see that one coming.
I know you didn't.
Anyway, go on.
So there's a story here.
What story?
Lewis
We didn't dump him at all.
with the real estate.
Yeah, we did not dump him
Oh,
at
okay.
all. Yeah.
Didn't you guys go with somebody else?
No, like we did, but that's because we're looking at a different area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why. Legit, that's why.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him.
Oh my gosh, he kills me.
So all I see is that you guys were using him, and then you're looking at moving, and then you used a different agent.
Oh, you know what? Because he moved too, right? Like we
Yeah.
lost contact. In all honesty,
Which is fine. I'm not judging.
I know, but I'm like,
I just
and that's
thought
why
it
I
was-
was like, what?
I just thought it was
Anyway,
funny.
Lewis, if you're watching, you're amazing. Okay.
Yeah, Lewis. Just don't take it personal.
It was not you. It was me. Just kidding. Just kidding.
To every girl. That's the line. That's the line of my. That should have been my line in high school. It's not just you. It's me.
Anyway, go on.
Are you uncomfortable now? What if he's watching?
Oh my goodness.
So growing up, Lewis, myself, this guy named Juan, Chito, Filipino kid from now he lives in Guel. We always we just had a good time. None of us smoked, none of us drank. We would play like innocent pranks on each other. We would always go dancing, and like it was always innocent fun. And so at an early age, early age, I always surrounded myself. Now before it was just unconscious.
Yeah.
Right? It's just I like their personality. We jived, we grooved together. It was good. Now it's a conscious decision.
Yeah.
If you are negative, even if it's, and I don't want to say even if it's a family member, because you should have more leniency, but at the same time, if you're negative, I can't have you in my life. I really, really can't. I have to protect, especially the work that I do.
Yeah.
I'm always throwing out positivity. And if I'm like surrounded, by negativity, my workshops are just going to go down.
Yeah, it's true though. You feel, because energy is contagious, right?
It's transferable,
So,
100%, yeah.
So that's why it's so easy. If you've ever gone into a place, like into an environment where somebody's like doing something or somebody's like in a negative headspace, you feel it, right?
I think the best, when I made the conscious decision about being careful of my surroundings, I was working for a financial institution. And we went to a conference. So I heard the speaker, and the speaker says, imagine you in a white gown. Like, I don't care if it's your wedding day, just imagine yourself in a white gown. So here I am, Miguel Martinez,
In a white gown.
the men of men, right? Just, like the men of men.
Oh my gosh.
In this white, beautiful, just complimentary, just my
Are
eyes
you
are
in a
just
ball gown
pop-
or are you on like a white with a white suit? Like, are you?
Is that you?
Oh shoot! Sorry, that's me.
Yeah. No, I'm in a white gown.
Okay. Go on.
Did I just make you uncomfortable?
I don't know where I don't know where this is going. So let's see where it goes.
So imagine you in a white gown. Would you go into like a cave or a coal mine? How would that dress come out?
Yeah. So you're like, you have to be very careful. Like if you envision yourself like you're wearing something really expensive that you don't want to wreck, right? You're obviously gonna take caution of where you are and how you treat it.
100%.
And if it does become into contact with something that you don't want it to, like, maybe get sturdy, what are you gonna do afterwards?
Yeah, and here's the thing is, right? There's some stains that are just
Hard to remove.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, they're never impossible to get rid of, right?
I am so sorry. My daughter's homesick, and she's the one that's like messaging.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
So why don't you just answer the phone? Let's put her on speaker.
I don't put her and be like,
You're on the
like,
show
what's going on?
with our millions and millions and millions of
But
people.
Maria's full. Hold
So
it.
while Maria is being like so rudely on her phone during a podcast,
I'm so sorry. I just
it's all right. Let us know what you do
Anyway,
to stay
I'm done.
positive.
I'm done. Okay. I'm done. I
Yeah.
just
No, it's okay. I'm just joking. It's your daughter. You gotta attend to her. But she was fine yesterday.
No, she was, but she's been like so she went on a school trip last week, came back a little bit sick, and then we kept her home. Her birthday gift was the cursed child, so she was like, I'm going. So we went to the cursed child,
The
but
cursed child.
it's a Harry Potter
Oh, the
show.
Harry Potter. Shoot. Yeah.
It was insanely good. Anyway, but then I think our day was just so busy yesterday that she kind of had a little bit of like she just, not that she would, like, I left and she was still sleeping. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna let her have a day, and then tomorrow she'll go back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
What were we talking about?
no, with regards to just ensuring that you keep your white gown without like,
No, but some scars or some dirt
yeah,
are like they're near like
Impossible.
impossible to remove.
it's really hard to remove it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so you just have to and I'm not a big fan believer that it's I'm not a big fan of
Mhm.
believing that like nothing can be like nothing's not no stain is forever.
Yeah.
Like if you believe that some certain stains or like no stains can be removed, then what's the point of the atonement?
Yeah.
Right? So I do believe that stains can be removed. The problem is that they become so difficult, people just quit. And then they're like, oh, forget it. It's always going to be there. Then
Yeah.
I'm just, and you know, it's
It is
whatever.
what it is.
It
This is
is-
just like the lot I've been dealt with. This
Exactly.
is just my environment. Like,
Exactly. So the mindset, and you're huge on that.
Yeah.
So the mindset is like, oh, well, it's just there. Like I'm born with this, and this is who I am, and this is what it is. And so then just give up. So it's there by choice, not because of environment.
yeah.
And so we have to be careful with those type of stains. So going back to the speaker, he's like, yeah, imagine you're in a white gown. There's no way that you're gonna go into like into this coal mine or whatever. And if you are, that dress is coming out dirty. I don't care how
Yeah.
careful you are, that dress is coming out dirty.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you something. What's more important? How the environment you're in, or do you have to do a self-assessment first and realize where you're at? are you like, do you have to realize, are you the negative person? And is that what's creating your environment? Or is your environment creating you into a negative person? Or it could be either. Like, what would you think?
Oh, dang. So again, going back to birds of a feather flock together. If you are negative, So according to the scriptures, you're all born with the light of Christ. So you're all born good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 100%, nobody's born evil.
Yep.
Right? That's doctrine. Nobody's born evil.
No baby's born evil. No.
Right? If you take a look at any child, right, whatever. So children, in my opinion, and I mean I could be wrong, but children, they become a product of an environment, what they're being taught at home, at school, friends, and all that. So you get to become. Some people will become self-aware. Right now, whoever you are, you will attract those kind of people. So if you start to become bad, you attract more bad.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the group of 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, if you become self-aware, if you take that blue pill and you wake up,
Mm-hmm.
or red pill, whatever it is on
Is
the
it
Matrix.
like the limit? Oh, I was thinking like limitless.
No,
I think he's
Matrix.
okay.
You become aware of your surroundings and your environment, and you are now you are starting to make a change, or you're starting to make a decision. Either you are going to stay in that group that you've acquired because of nature,
Okay.
or are you going to start to make decisions to pull yourself away and look for a new environment?
Okay.
And that becomes your choice at the end of the day.
Yep. I
Right.
agree. I'm like, we are huge on choice. We are like agency. Agency is just the ability to choose. It's such a great gift that everybody has.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever found yourself being negative?
100%. I used to be the most negative person
What
when
do
I
you
was
mean used
growing
to?
up.
What do you mean used to? You just
I used to 100% be like so negative. When we were talking, a thought came up to my mind when I think I was 19, and I was working at a restaurant as a hostess. And I remember getting off school and like getting on the subway and traveling there. And then I remember I guess the girl who I was working with asked me how my day was, and I was like, oh, my gosh, it was horrible. It was such a horrible day. It was such a bad. And then I just went off. And then I will never forget this because it made me become self-aware, because she said to me, she's like, wow, you have a lot of bad days.
Yeah.
And then I have never forgotten that was like a huge lesson that I stopped myself, and I was like, dang, like, do I complain a lot? So that's the process where I became self-aware. Granted, I didn't actually change until I was well into my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I do think negativity is so much easier to give into. I think we are predisposed to be negative.
Yeah.
I think just being part of this world, because if you think about it, our minds don't need anything to go into the worst case situation.
Mm-hmm.
Our minds don't need any probing to like think the worst. But what our minds need a lot of coaching and a lot of like almost energy is to be positive, to see the good. It's like a muscle, right? The more you exercise it, the easier it becomes. But it's a perishable skill. It's not something like you do once and then you have it for the rest of your life. It's rather something that you have to work on daily.
Yeah. So I was at last week I was at a school, and it was the difference between negative and positive attitude and why we become negative. So that's the workshop. And so I asked the kids, why do people choose? So I asked for examples of negative attitudes, and they gave me, pushing, kicking, screaming, swearing, and all this other stuff.
Screaming kids?
What?
Screaming parents?
Oh my gosh. So side note, I'm doing a little bit of I did a primary workshop, there was a primary conference in our church.
Primary is, go ahead. They're kids.
Oh yeah, they're kids between the ages of 8 to 11, right? And so at the church, we had, I think it was 60 kids show up.
Yeah.
And then there was like about 6 different stations. I had a station, and then every station was like 20-minute workshop. Long story short, I had her kid in my workshop. And so we're talking, and I'm like, all right.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. And so we're talking or whatever, and I'm like, okay, we lived before Earth, and so in this thing called premortal life, then we came to Earth and we acquired a body. Now with this body, we acquired certain challenges in life. And I go, name me some challenges. And so they're going off and they're telling me all the different things that, and I put, sickness, homework, school, bullying, and her kid,
My 8-year-old,
chimes in. And he's like, screaming parents. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, when your parents just scream at you all the time.
I was always
That's so like screaming parents.
That was my kid. Look at me, all like, yeah, don't do this, don't do that. Look at treat your kids with it. And then my child is like screaming parents. He's keeping it real.
But no,
Keeping us humble.
I think fair enough. Like you said something though. You're like, thank you for this. No, what was it?
Oh, when he was telling me, I was like, you know what I say to that? I say you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome for loving you enough to,
Yeah.
put you in your place at times.
Yeah. 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 And
I always say that to my kids.
no, and it's true. Like sometimes, you talk to them, oh, Billy, please stop, count to 5. And some of these tricks, some of these tools will work. I'm not saying no to them, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 times.
We're human beings, man.
It's, like sometimes they need a little bit of, hey, stop it. Come back here.
I've become a lot better, but there are some days that I will yell, right?
Yeah.
And then it's funny because we went home and we were talking about it, and Jojo was like, "You do yell, Daddy." I was like,
I always tell my kids, if you hear me yell at you, it's because there's been I already asked you 6 or 7 times.
yeah,
And I go, and yelling is not, and I think you're the same. Yelling is not the go-to answer,
no, it's not the norm.
right?
Yeah,
So it's
yelling
like
is not
when
the
you
norm.
talk to them, hey, can you do this? Hey, remember I asked you. Okay, if you don't do it, hey, and so by the 7th, like, hey, wake up, and they're like, oh crap, I got to do it, right? So I always tell the kids, if you hear me yelling, it's because I already asked you like 10 times. So it's
Yeah.
not my fault.
I know.
I would not have yelled at you even if you did it after the 5th time, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So-
True that.
So, anyways, what we're talking about? And I knew this was gonna happen.
I know. I'm sorry about the side notes. We were talking about negativity and environments and just being,
Yeah, we're past that, dude.
yeah. Anyway, okay, so clearly it was not important enough.
It was so important. I was gonna write it down because I was like, I'm gonna forget. But
We forgot.
we forgot. I forgot. So, anyways, you become a product of your environment.
No, yeah, you know what? We were talking about me, like being the experiences that I've had with negativity. Like I guess I have a few thoughts to add. I'm like, I think you're absolutely right. I think we do become a product of our environment, but I think it's also to reflect on what kind of things are we attracting, because like attracts like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if you're finding yourself in a negative situation, you kind of do have to do a self-assessment, because we can't change other people. We can't force other people to be more positive. We can't force things to like go a different way.
Yeah.
But what we can do is we can self-assess. Maybe there are things in our lives that we're like, oh, dang, like what I was sharing when I was complaining a lot about having a bad day.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the important part with negativity and just staying in a more positive becomes down to self-awareness and just asking yourself, what am I bringing up to the table? Because at the end of the day, positive people are not going to want to be around you if you're the one that's struggling with negativity.
Yeah.
Right. So I think once we make that switch and we look at our lives and we're like, okay, what can I do to just embrace more positivity into my life? And then we go from there. I think, like attracts like. You find your tribe, even as cliche as that sound. That's so true that, the way that you are attracts the people that are into your life.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. Oh, and so here's another thought, right? Your environment doesn't just have to be the people who are living.
Who are living?
Right.
Okay. Elaborate a little bit on that.
So when you create your environment, you create an environment, and even Kobe talked a little bit about this as well, right? He gets mentored all the time, and not just by people who are close to him, but people who have died as well. So an environment consists of living and non-living, right? Fictional and non-fictional. So what kind of things are you feeding your mind?
Yeah.
Right? So if you are watching a lot of negative videos, if you're watching a lot of those things, then you start to become those. That's what I was going to tell you. And so then about the experience with the school.
Oh, yes.
And then this kid, right? And then I'm like, so give me some examples of negative and positive attitude. And so they were giving me positive, they were giving me negative. And this one kid says, and then I asked why, if people know the difference between negative and positive, why do people still choose negativity? One kid chimes in and goes, because it's easier. And even though it's the right answer, the foundation is not what he was saying. So yes, it's easier if that's the dominant muscle, right? If you are being negative your entire life, like if you're just being negative all the time because of your environment, because of the movies that you're watching, because of the type of music videos that you're watching, because of the news, a lot of this whole CNN and Fox kind of crap, right?
I curate a lot of the stuff.
Oh
I
my
do
gosh.
not watch news. I do not, even my algorithms on my social media platforms,
Yeah.
highly curated. A lot of the things that I get is like lash extension videos
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
and just like other stuff, but nothing that tells me everything that's horrible in the world right now.
No, it picks it up, right? And so you have to be careful how when you start creating your environment, who is involved in that environment? The people. So that's the face-to-face contacts, the things that you watch, the things that you hear, the things that you read. So when you take all of this into consideration, that becomes you become a product of that environment. If you have negative friends, if you're watching negative videos, if you're listening to bad songs, and if you're reading horrible books or magazines, you will become negative. Like that's you have entered the coal mine with this beautiful white dress, right? And then you're gonna come out all dirty. And so you have to. So going back with Kobe said, is he gets mentored all the time by the books that he reads and the things that he watches, all those motivational videos and all that other stuff. And even till this day, sometimes I will pop in an interview. Kobe did a lot of interviews towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
And I will listen to a lot of his interviews and they uplift me, right?
Yeah.
Versus if I'm listening to like cop killer videos and just negative, and then the left versus the right and Republicans versus Democrats, and they're telling me that I should be hating a race or not, or should be like, I should be victimizing myself. Then that's the stuff that's going to be entering my mind. And then that's how I'm going to start reacting around the world. And I become negative. I become the average of what I'm listening to or watching.
It's whatever you focus on grows.
100%.
You gotta focus like what plant. You gotta think of them as plants, I guess, right? So you gotta focus on like what are you tending to, what are you nurturing, and then based on that, you'll kind of realize what your reality will be like.
Yeah. So when people ask why are you so positive, why you're so happy, it's because I protect my circle. I am very, after my kids, like I'm very protective of like who comes in.
So so let me ask you something. Aside from protecting your circle and the people that come in, what else do you do?
That's it.
That's it. You
That's
don't do
it.
anything else to
That's
build
it.
your positivity.
That's it. I am. I mean, there's, and I think physical health contributes to mental health. So going to the gym, eating healthy, right? My chlorophyll,
His ad.
right? So if you buy now, get a bottle, and you know what? We'll throw in another bottle
of chlorophyll.
of chlorophyll.
Yeah.
No, but so I think that those are important. But I mean, I've seen people who are not all physically fit be positive as well.
Yeah.
So I think being physically fit will help with the mental health as well. I think they do go hand in hand. But you'll have a much better fighting chance when you are physically healthy. And I don't mean going to the gym for 2 hours.
Just movement.
Just movement, right?
Yep.
Just getting the heart rate going, all that stuff. But the number one, and it's, so with the fitness, it's 50-50, maybe 80-20. Like, I don't know, right? It does contribute to your mental overall health. But protecting your circle is 100%. Like you cannot stay positive in a negative environment. Eventually, you might be able to fight it off. You might be strong enough, and you might be able to hold on. You might be able to push back and just whatever. But eventually, that negativity, it's constant, and it's going to wear you down, and it's going to be corrosive, and you are going to fall. You are going to 100% fail.
Kind of like the outside in approach.
Huh?
Well, outside in, right? Because like you have all these external forces
Yeah.
and like, so here's my thought. I think that 100% just as equal as your environment is like your inside force needs to grow to a point where you can push back and realize. Because if you think about it, if you're not working on having better thoughts, of having new ideas and being exposed to better kind of mindsets, how are you supposed to know that you're in a negative environment, or that the current thoughts that you're having, they're not serving you, or the current things that your group is doing, they're not serving you? Because negativity, it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's widely accepted. If you look at it, you can go to anyone and you can have a conversation about how crappy the weather is.
Yeah.
Everybody bonds over how crappy the weather is. And that's a form of negativity because you're
Yeah.
complaining, right? Or what you don't like, whether it's too hot, too cold, too rainy, too sunny. Like everybody can bond over that. That's easy. But if you don't kind of have those tools to build the inside, I think it's a whole lot harder to push out that environment negativity out or even realize that you're in a negative environment.
And it all goes back to being self-aware of again, you're a product of your environment, right? And so I had this one friend on Facebook. She was a good friend. We grew up together. She was amazing. She is amazing. But lately, she has become very, very negative. All her posts, and the algorithm is very interesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you stop at a post,
It will
Facebook
show you more kind of
of
posts like that.
of that person,
Yeah.
right? So if you put up a post and I'm scrolling, and I stop at you just to read what you're saying because we're friends, then Facebook's like, oh, Miguel is interested in what Maria is saying. So anytime you post, it'll be one of the first things that I see.
Yeah.
So with this person, she was posting, and then it's something I need help, and then I was reading. I'm like, man, this is negative. She's starting to talk bad about the church and just life and people. I'm like, okay, well, I feel bad for her. Anyway, so I kept scrolling. Again, like the next day, boom, another post like that, and then boom, another post, and it was starting to like really affect me. And even though this person doesn't live nowhere near me, like we're talking about maybe an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
It was starting to affect me, and I had to make a very conscious decision. And I'm like, I have to unfriend her.
Yeah.
Right? I have to unfriend this person. And so you have to be kind of self-aware and just realize what's going on, and just take strength, and then just do it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I think one of the things that I kind of just wanted to share, if this is something that you struggle with, negativity in your life, or you just feel like, man, I don't feel so good. Like I want to be a little bit more positive in my life. Some of the things is curate your social media. Like you said, like look at your social media. If the person that you're friends with, or that you know, or even the influencers that you follow, if they're creating negative feelings within you, even if they're positive people, even if they stand for whatever positivity it is, maybe you want to take a break, unfollow for a while, right? It's okay to curate. It's okay to focus on whoever helps you to feel good from the inside out. The second approach is that I would highly, highly recommend minimizing the amount of TV, TV, but news that you watch.
Oh my!
You do not need to watch the news every day.
Hate it.
Remember that it was mind-blowing to me. I read this book that's called Stories That Sell. And in that book, it said that negativity always outsells. Always. That's why if you notice, our news are filled with negativity. And the negativity could be from
the left to the right, or right to the left.
Yeah, it could be from anywhere. It's like now, because of the internet and the social platforms and all this, it's like our world that's so big, it's also so tight knit. So something that's going on, I don't know, like on the other side of the world can potentially affect what's going on with you and inside of you. So you have to be smart with that, and you have to focus on your center of influence, right? Because there's certain things that you can't change. Like you just can't, right? So focusing on those things that you can't change is really going to dampen what you can change, because then you just feel discouraged. You're like, why even try this? World is horrible.
And even governments, right? Governments used to be about, look what I can do for the people.
Yeah, now it's like,
look how horrible the other person is.
It's so true. It's so true. Oh my goodness.
And so now they're instead of now voting for like the person that you resonate with, trying to make that connection, that bond. Now you're voting based on the hate that you have for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm, let's say, conservative, right? And the Conservative Party's talking trash about the progressives, it's like, well, I don't know what the conservatives are giving me, but I hate the progressive. Look at everything horrible that they've done. So I am not voting for them because I hate them. I'm voting for this person because I don't hate them.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, progressive to conservative. So yeah, governments now, it's become about let's pump out hate. And they are... And this stresses me out so much, because in their battle, they're taking down the country. They're in their battle of power, right? In their battle of like, let's destroy the image of the other person.
Yeah.
They're bringing down the entire society, everybody, because people again, you become a product of your environment. If you resonate with a conservative, let's just say, or you resonate with a progressive, right? Or liberal, sorry, then I can't accept you because you're the other party. They hate you, so then I'm going to hate you as well. And that's...
It becomes conflict between people that like have nothing to do. Like I've seen friends turn on friends because of that all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so yes, so curate that stuff, curate your news, curate your feed. Also, okay, now that you've done that, you have to build some positivity into your life. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. You don't just like pray about it and just hope it comes. No, it won't come that way. You have to build it in. So it could be reading personal development books, like focus on something you want to grow, read that, get somebody's insight, gain that, because you need hope and you need knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And then also build your spirituality. You know, whatever religion you are, or even if you don't have a religion, there are things you can do to build that spirituality, whether it's meditation, whether it's being out in the open. For us, we're a faith. So for us, I think both you and I, we're really big into scripture reading. And not just reading, we study. Like I legit to spend 20 minutes a day to study and to understand more of the principles and then understand how they apply to my life. And that builds so much light and hope into my life, right? Mm-hmm. And then other than that, kindness. You know, I'll give you a quick little story with regards to kindness. Ready?
Where is this going?
It actually has to do with road rage. Okay. No, I did have a little bit of road rage, right?
Used to?
Yeah, I don't do it anymore.
So when my mom gets in your car,
she's safe. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. She's
she's sweet, but she comes back different.
I hope better different.
No,
angry.
No, angry. It's like esta vieja. No, like
okay, I'm sure. Anyway, so when I first started, when my oldest daughter started going to school, her school is like half an hour, 40 minutes away, and because because it's like a specialized school that she goes to.
I didn't know it was 40 minutes away.
Yeah, traffic is 40 minutes. Without traffic is 30.
Orange in Scarborough?
That'd be like an hour and a half. No, she's in Malton. Yeah, it takes a while. Yeah, so it's like you have to cross all of Brampton, right?
Yeah, it's from point to point.
Yeah. So anyway, I was spending a lot of time in the car and I started becoming angrier. Okay, so if you know where we live, What?
Time out. I wish I could rewind the tape here.
What? Oh my gosh. Anyway, we'll let him be on the side.
No. Okay, we're not moving. Like we're not just going over this. Hang on,
what? Did I spit?
No, your Latina just came out. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Anyway, he's wasting our time.
I'm not.
Our listeners have very valuable time.
Hang on. They want to hear this. Oh. Your Latina came out. So I was spending my time, and so
comes out. It's within me. It burns deep.
So Latinos, they tend to put the ES in front of a lot of their words.
Oh, I don't even notice. Especially. Anyway, back to our story. Let me just finish my story.
You gotta go back and watch it.
Anyway, so I was starting to become agitated and angry because a lot of people in Brampton drive very, very aggressively, right? And I used to get really angry about all these aggressive drivers. Anyway, so we get to a point, I think I've like 2 weeks into driving my daughter. This is back in September. I'm becoming aggressive and angry as I'm driving because I see all these other people doing the same thing. So I'm pulling out of her school, and instead of just waiting for somebody to let me in, I'm like all up in my pedestal being like, you have to let me in. So I honestly cut somebody off in front of my school. The person was just as angry as I was. So they're honking and they're like like inches away from like our cars. And I'm angry. The other person's angry. And then what happens? A whole bunch of kids turn around and look at me. Thankfully, my daughter was inside the school.
Oh my gosh.
At that point, I was like, I had a moment of reflection, and I'm grateful for that opportunity because it was like, Maria, what are you doing? I kid you not, that changed me. I was like, why am I hurrying? It literally is going to take me maybe 2 minutes faster to be all this aggressive and whatnot. And so I started being kinder. People wanted to go in front of me. Go ahead. Yeah. I started letting people in. I started driving more calmly. And I kid you not, it actually improved my drive. It made me a whole lot more peaceful, and kindness returns kindness. You have no idea. Now I pull out. Maybe a person won't let me out, but for the most part, I'm always like, somebody always lets me into their lane.
Yeah.
Always.
So here's the thing is, and I think it's going back to being self-aware. So you became self-aware and all that other
Yeah,
stuff?
with all those kids and the teacher looking at me, that was forced self-awareness.
But yeah. So you were being forced to become aware. But here's if something's causing you stress, then you have to change that as well. So if you are rushing because of the time.
No, there was no time. Like, it wasn't the time. It was,
Oh.
I just became angry. It was
So it's
just,
not like, so you're not cutting it to the hour. Like you were like, oh, okay.
she
dang.
was already in the school. I was just angry because I saw all these people like being aggressive drivers. One of the things that used to bother me to my core is when I see people do U-turns in major intersections, because accidents happen, right?
Yeah.
But then I think, like, who died and made me police? Why do I have to carry that with me?
So
Because
I'm going through the exact same thing in the sauna.
it, I am, but that's the thing, right? Because if you realize that kind of stuff, when you focus so much on other people and then you become angry and negative about it, you're the one carrying it. Yeah. They get to be on their merry self. Like, they get, the person that did the U-turn is still going happy in their way. They don't care.
No, I know. So in the sauna, you're not supposed to come in with shoes
And people are coming in with
or pant, like fully clothed. You're supposed to wear like a
bathing suit.
Bathing suit, swimming gear. There's one guy in the cold plunge. He came in with like those tight pants, like runners, like a spandex.
Okay.
Right, and then a shirt, like a spandex shirt, so like fully spandexed.
Okay.
And he went into the cold plunge, and then he went into the steam room, and I'm like,
that's a hard one. Oh gosh, that's a hard one.
right. And so I was like, and so it was bothering me. Like, it was legit bother. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to start anything. And my sauna time is my peace time. Like, that's where I go in and I meditate and I think about the day and I think about the week, right? And so, but he was like starting to irk me, and I was like starting to what? But that thought came to my mind is, who made me the police, right?
Who made you sauna police?
Yeah, who made me the sauna police? To like,
who died and made you sauna police, huh?
So I stop.
I stop. Okay. You stop.
We gotta give out some shout outs here.
Okay.
So we got Jimmy Blenhart. Hey, good to see you here. So Jimmy said you gotta associate yourself with good people. Absolutely.
Yes.
Vanessa Brisen.
Love me some Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa's been a while. She goes, morning to you too. It's been a hot minute. Absolutely. Hope you've been doing well.
Oh,
Yes,
girl,
we have.
We have. And we hope you're doing well too.
Absolutely. And we got our good friend Alexander Lopez, Wagwan guy. And he goes, buen dia to you both. Long time. Great to see you and listening to Stay Positive, Stay Up.
Ah, yes.
Absolutely.
You get a clap, a big clap.
But then he came to your defense and goes, embarrass your Latin roots, huh? Huh? You sound great. I explain to you what I say, okay? So I am
Listen,
sorry.
the Latino side comes out. Like, did you see the hand movements? I'm like, wait a second.
¿Verdad que sí? Yo no puedo creer que like... Oh, no. We got Maria here. Maria, you're aggressive. Never the sweet, mild Maria I know. She is definitely not sweet and mild. Absolutely. And then we got, again, Bryson. She goes, Maria's not threatened to me harm. I didn't say she was super sweet. All right. And then we got Edward Limon. You want to read this one? Can you read?
With my eagle eyes. Although it is a little bit further. Hold on.
Hang on. Let me see. Where's the... You're so, like, needy.
So
Okay, let me see here.
okay, there we go. We're good. Okay, so Ed Limon, hey. Okay, Stephen Covey was once in a situation where he was at the doctor's office, and while he was waiting in a room was a father that was surrounded by a couple of very rowdy kids. He was in the subway, my sweet friend. They were screaming, banging, and it was awful.
If you're going to tell a story, tell it right.
I'm just kidding. I love this story, though, so thank you so much for sharing. They were screaming, banging, and it was awful scene to watch. Everyone was watching, and the father did not do anything to step in. Cubby then went to him and asked him if he could do something to help the father, and almost faced. He says, oh, sorry, the doctor just told me that my wife died. Yeah, this story changed my perspective. Yeah, legit, because that's like, they were in a subway, right? And everybody was annoyed. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And the father was just kind of sitting and like slumped down, and like there was pure chaos around him.
Yeah.
And that's when he came up and he asked them. And then even that, he said, he's like, you never know somebody else's battles.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it's important not to like become a police of anything, not to judge, and just be like, you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, but going in the cold plunge with fully closed.
But here's the thing, though. What if it's religious?
It's not religious.
How do you know?
Because I've seen him wear bathing suits before.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's trying to like, I don't know.
There's
maybe
not. He's just.
maybe there's something going on in his life where he feels a little self-conscious somewhere.
Well, what he wore short like swimming trunks before to date.
Okay. Hey, hold on. Ed says it's interesting if we can easily judge, but you just never know what someone else is going through. 100%. This has helped me so much when I'm driving and I get into a similar situation like you did, Maria, at school. Easier as said than done. But dang, so true, so
Absolutely.
true.
And you know what? The funny thing is, right? It's people like that tend to like leave Brampton and go to Calgary when they.
When they wear full bathing suits?
No, when they're just like you know, like they're not
When they don't get their stories right?
yeah, like these are
kidding.
not nice people that leave Brampton to go to Calgary and live somewhere else.
Oh, we're just kidding. And you're awesome.
I'm not kidding. They're not nice people at all.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jimmy did it too. I forgot.
I know.
He moved to Calgary as well.
Oh my god.
So that was a shot more towards Ed, not towards Jimmy. Jimmy, I love you. Ed, we love you too. I was just joking, but we do miss you guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So in our whole, like, to kind of bring it all in together with negativity and like seeing somebody else's perspective, what are your thoughts? Because kind of we went through like two sides here.
My final, so the theme of today is stay away from negativity. So here's my final advice. My final piece here.
If you hear anything from this podcast, this is it.
This
is the gem.
right here. You've been waiting a whole entire 40 minutes just to hear the following. So are you ready? Like strap on.
Let me buckle in.
Yeah, like 5 buckles because this is it.
5-point harness.
This is it. Protect, and again, this is part of my workshop. Protect what you hear and protect what you see, right? Because these two things are the entry points to your soul. And whatever you see, whatever you hear, will determine the kind of person that you become.
Ooh.
100%. So, and that can be both from living, non-living. It can be
Fictional.
From fictional to non-fictional in front of you through the screen. Whatever it is, you got to protect what you see and you got to protect what you hear.
Ooh, that is some gems. I'm impressed. I wasn't sure.
Boom.
I wasn't sure where this was gonna go, but I'm impressed.
Boom.
You get that?
Boom. I'm telling you, there's wisdom here. There's a lot more space ever since my hair fell off.
There you go. You just made it work. You're choosing to see the good in it. It's the silver lining.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So listen.
Hold on. Let's see what Alexander says.
So it says, could have been a test of humanity, like social experiments. If people would speak your mind, I would say to him why and how, and maybe by asking you might be able to help. You can someone's angel that you need to get through.
Yeah. So essentially, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is that, like, if you approach someone and being like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like talk to them through it. It could be an answer to a prayer. It could be helping you, just like the story that Ed said, where the father was going through something very difficult. What?
So Dave just sent me a message.
Oh, hold on.
hang on.
Hold on.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's do our thing.
No, about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's regarding the podcast. He goes, "What is non-fictional?" As stupid.
As non-fictional. Come on, Dave.
Fiction, non-fiction, right?
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's an actual word.
I thought it was non-fictional too. I mean, I don't know. We're both
immigrants.
We're both immigrants, guys.
English, nobody up there good looking.
No, honestly. Okay, so my takeaways from this
wait. We're doing a takeaway time.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're doing takeaway. Will you share? Hey, well, first of all, thank you. He just cuts me off like that. He's like, no takeaways for you.
No, you can
Anyway, just want to say thank you so much for everybody that participated in the podcast. We are so grateful for you guys to be a part of this, to chat with us, to be here with us. We do this podcast for you guys and for us too. It helps us out a lot to just kind of work through our thoughts. Yeah. But then we also we enjoy sharing what we go through because life is definitely not perfect for us. Yeah. There's still negativity in our lives, and sometimes it's negativity that we can't really walk away from.
Absolutely. So what was your takeaway today?
You know what? My takeaway is just to stop and assess and take a look at my environment. And I really like what you said. Like whatever your eyes see, whatever your ears hear, that stays with you. So even if you think like, oh, you know, it's okay. Like it's okay to have like to just be here for a minute. Like really think about the impact of that minute could have in your life. And if it's not aligned with the type of life that you want to live, maybe think twice.
Okay. My takeaway was don't be a police.
Yes.
Don't
be a police. You want to have some peace in your life? Don't worry about it.
Just give people benefit of the doubt, even if it means creating a story in your mind to give people grace.
Yes.
Right? So that whole thing about this guy in the sauna, in the steam room, I just can't see like why, because I've seen him in swimming trunks before, but if I, like you're telling me, well, maybe this and maybe that and maybe this and maybe that, even if it means me having to create a story to be able to give grace, it's just and not that it's true, but at least it'll give me that peace to be able to not allow negativity back in my life.
Yeah. So always ask yourself, who died and made me police of X?
That's sauna.
Exactly. Whatever is upsetting you. Because remember, why would you want to take that with you? It's going to impact the rest of your day. Don't bring that negativity with you. You're better than that.
Which protect what you see and protect what you hear. Right?
100%. Okay, hold on. Ed Limon says, true happiness comes from making others happy. 100%. Alex, sorry, I work dirty hands. I agree. I wish someone asked my son what was wrong with him that day. Maybe he be here ahora. Oh, man. Okay, well, lots of love for your son. We're not exactly sure the situation that happened, but hey, listen, we're here. If you want to connect with us, we would love to talk to you.
Absolutely. Alex, send me a message, man. We'll let's connect online.
Yeah, absolutely.
DM me.
Yes, remember, like we need a village, and if you're going through something difficult alone, don't do it alone. There's people that are ready and there to support you. You can always message us, and we're here for you. We've gone through difficult things in our lives as well, and if anything, we can just be there to listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Here's all of our social sites. Again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. All of our podcasts are there, including audio, which is Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and some other one, whatever. All the links are on our website, so just check us out, and our gear is there as well. We're still looking for sponsors.
We're poor. We are poor. But anyway.
we got to pay our bills.
Make sure you share. Make sure you share. Maybe there's a takeaway. There's something. We would love it if you share with friends, with loved ones, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help.
Absolutely. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you maybe next week. Actually, we'll put up a post. I think I'm working next week.
Yeah, right now it's going to be like a hit and miss a little bit just because of schedules.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're still here.
Yeah. We may even pre-record and then just put up live. So, we'll figure it out. See you next week.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Get a minute, Dono. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. First, you gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked